Yeah. So, just when Twitter started, I know you were doing many things, but it was this, you have very strong intuition. Was it your intuition or it was just like, I know this will be it?
I think I was sort of going by, just going with the flow, to be honest. And I've always really believed in the universe, as you know. And I feel like if you do something ekdam pure man se and you're really passionate about it, you don't have to really think that, okay, is it going to work? I've always believed that whatever I'm doing, if I'm doing it with my whole heart, it will have some value.
Absolutely.
Whether it's monetary value or fame or success, it always has some value, or I meet some really interesting people. So I think that was the intention. There was no clear path that it's going to end up where it ended up, but I'm very happy with how it ended up.
Yeah, because you had the job, then you had this new thing, and then you had a new relationship.
Yeah.
All that was coming together.
All of it together, exactly.
Yeah. And then, one more thing, interesting thing. Everyone knew you as Malini, but then it became Miss Malini.
Miss Malini, yeah.
And that kind of added so much of a difference.
Yeah, I did.
In so many aspects.
It's so, yeah, and I chose the name because I like alliteration and I didn't want to go with a regular, Bollywood gupshup kind of name. So I was like, okay, and this is before influencers or personality-led brands were a thing. So it was just kind of just by fluke thinking that, okay, the Miss Malini sounds nice. And I guess my role models at that time were like Perez Hilton, Just Jared, that were using their own names, but with a little tweak. So I thought it's kind of fun, it's approachable, and I wanted to really talk about Bollywood in a different way, in a way which is much more relatable, which is happy, shiny, and not really gossipy. And I think that I felt like Miss Malini did a good job of representing that as a brand. And lo and behold, 15 years later, it still stands for that.
I know, and I love it. I love the way you've explored it in terms of doing really authentic work, because I know a lot of your groups help women,
Yes.
help people. There's a whole community you're building. I'll come to that, but
Yeah.
want to go back to the title of Gossip Girl.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because I think, we all love Bollywood so much, and the reason we love it is because Bollywood is kind of like a dream escape from reality for everyone, from the rickshawala to the most wealthy person. They all love films for that escape. And the reason why we love what the celebrities wear, where they go, who they date, what they eat, is because we want to extend that dream for as long as possible. So for us, we were never sort of a nasty gossip site. So even Gossip Girl, it was more in the fun XOXO kind of way, where it's a little bit snarky, has a little edge to it, but never mean-spirited. And for me, it was always, I love Bollywood. I love what it stands for. I love the music. I love the razzle-dazzle and the grandeur. And I really always wanted to celebrate that. So we made a rule pretty early on that we will only write what we can say to somebody's face. And I think that's a rule people should really apply even in their day-to-day behavior online. Just because you are behind a screen and somebody can't see you and you don't have to look them into the eyes, doesn't mean you should just say whatever you want,
Right.
I think that's kind of, been really valuable for us. And you'd assume that all Bollywood gossip sites have to be negative or nasty, but I mean, we're living proof that it doesn't have to be that way. You can be a positive force, especially in an industry where we're so privileged. We get to do what we want, wear what we want, hang out with who we want. So why not celebrate that in a positive way?
Absolutely. And see, integrity goes a long way.
Of course. Yeah, and I think the big problem for, Gen Z and even for millennials to some extent was this sudden instant gratification. You want a ride, you call an Uber. You want food, you order Swiggy. You want a match, you get on Tinder. But there's no instant job satisfaction. There's no instant fame. And I think that's something that people took a little time to wrap their heads around. But I really believe slow and steady wins the race. There's no such thing as overnight success. Even mine took more than a decade. But the journey has been absolutely incredible. And I met such amazing people like yourself, like our paths crossed because of so many different reasons. And then we ended up doing radio together. So I think it's really a matter of, they always say enjoy the journey. I really believe that.
Yeah, and for me, that enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
You and mine is so karmic. I
Yeah.
ended up at your wedding. Like
I know, it's amazing. And I remember, what are the odds that we would have, you and my friend Chetan making predictions for cricket and just having fun with it. I think part of it is also not taking yourself so seriously. You should be able to laugh at yourself. You should be able to have fun. And again, if you know your heart's in the right place and you're not doing anything from a place of envy or a low vibration, as they say, then it's going to succeed.
I know, that's amazing. And I love the fact that besides the fact that you're all out there, you're grounded, you're humble.
Right. So again, it all comes down to what is your intent and what was your purpose. And if you know in your heart, if you genuinely believe that you did it with the right intent, then you can't go wrong.